Hello everybody, and welcome to Amateur Cast, where I get into you and your replays to be casted for my entertainment, and hopefully to help you improve a little bit as well. Today I will be joined by Sin, and we're going to be going into a TVP. So without further delay, I'm going to let Sin introduce our first player.
Hello, everybody. So on the bottom right here, we're going to have theWalrus on Terran.
And on the bottom left, we have Vinicius going to be spawning in as the blue Protoss player. So what are your thoughts on the matchup, Sin?
The matchup's a good matchup. Both sides have about as much to worry about in terms of micro to macro, where it's a matter of can the Protoss manage to spellcast, and can the Terran manage his army effectively to where he doesn't get blown out by storms, but at the same time manages to get opposing Protoss units such as High Templar and Colossi.
Mm. Well, we're seeing a refinery coming up from Walrus at this point, which means we're probably going to be seeing an earlier factory, which is more indicative of a mech play. My best guess is that we've seen Walrus before. I know that I've casted a few of Walrus's games, so I know he's a very mech-centric player, and that's what he enjoys doing. So I think that it's probably likely that we're going to be seeing something similar to that, especially considering that the refinery came out. This probably means we're going to be seeing, like I said, the earlier factory.
So we're going to be seeing a small worker battle in the base. Nothing too big. I don't necessarily agree with this line of play ever, because I feel as though when you take a worker into the enemy base, just scout and leave, because you end up losing on it a lot more than you'd think.
Well, yeah, but also to say the least, you want the probe to stay in the base as long as possible, so you're able to see stuff like if your opponent's going for a couple of extra barracks, for example. And to that extent, I agree. However, I do not like the play of let's jump in, fight the worker a little bit, back up, fight the worker a little bit, because I feel like that's just kind of wasting the time, and you're not able to really use it as a scouting unit. Right now, you could be running around the base, seeing, oh, hey, does he have another gas coming up? Or does he have a factory, as opposed to fighting the worker, which means that you might end up losing it. Looking back at the Protoss, we have one gas up from him. Second gas has not been started here. Wouldn't be too surprised to see that soon, as usually, unless he's going for a Nexus. If he's going for a Nexus, then he doesn't necessarily need to get the second gas, but still would be nice to see that come out. Mothership Core on its way as well. At this point,
factory is just going to be finished up by Walrus, and factory is going to be on the reactor, so we will probably be seeing some quick Hellions.
That would be my best guess. It could also be Widow Mines, but yeah, Hellions are obviously going to be the unit of choice. Protoss player has not taken a natural expansion, but looks like he's going down to do that. Yeah, it does have a probe situated to do exactly that. Has a stock from moving out across the map to get a little bit of vision on his opponent, see what's going on.
Hellions are just finishing up here, moving out. Probably will be able to scout the Nexus starting up here. And in the meantime, we're going to have Warp Gate Tech going in, and Stalkers coming out.
And the Hellions are going to get right by that army, going to be going straight towards the natural main base. Definitely going to be able to scout the Nexus coming down. Might be able to get into the main base and get a couple of probes as well.
He's going in. Probes are going to die.
Oh no, they're getting pulled in a line, Ooh! Quite a lot dying there unnecessarily. And Hellions are just going to completely ignore the Stalker, going straight for those probes. Also, we're going to be seeing the Vinicius moving into the main base, but he is going to lose a lot of his units there to the Widow Mine Blast. Mothership Core is going to be going for the main base mineral lines, but really not going to be able to do a whole lot. You're going to be laying down a Time Warp on that, which is a little bit of a curious choice if you ask me.
This Mothership Core is probably not going to be lasting long, seeing as Widow Mines are going up. They're going to go down, and Vikings also going down, and then is it going down?
Well, it is gonna I think it's going to go down. Yes,
Yep,
it is going to go down. So very good snipe on the Walrus. It's definitely going to be getting a little bit of an advantage there, forcing his opponent to make another Mothership Core, and that means that that Mothership Core is not going to have the energy to Photon Overcharge back home, which might be a little bit of a problem, and seeing as the Walrus is moving out with Widow Mines right now, that might be able to get into the main base or in the natural expansion and get some probes killed. Oh. Widow Mines are going to be planting themselves down in front of those Stalkers. Stalkers are going to be taking one hit, one Stalker going down. Another couple of Widow Mines are going to be laying themselves down, going to be repositioning themselves slowly. There goes the other Stalker. Widow Mine is going to place itself in the natural expansion as well, getting one probe for its efforts. And the Hellion is going to come into the main base and get a few probes as well. Ending up dueling with that Stalker, which isn't going to be a smart decision on his part. Mothership Core is going to get sniped again. That's not really good for Vinicius. Going to lose Mothership Core once again, forcing him to build it again, not having the Photon Overcharge, having to send more gas in order to do it, that he really just can't afford at this point.
Hellions are going to start moving in, going into the mineral line. They're going to start taking out more workers. Right now, Walrus has taken out 15 workers.
True.
Over the course of this game.
Which is a lot of damage done before the 8-minute mark, before the 9-minute mark. Honestly, getting a lot of damage done, getting his opponent on his back foot economically, and you guys can see that here in a little bit in the income tab. The Walrus is up on 1,000 minerals with his mules, and Vinicius is only on 640 with 22 harvesters on the field. That's not really that good, considering that otherwise he would have been on, what, 45? Or not 45, 30. Let me look at this real quick, just to make his basic edition. Yeah, he would have been on 30, 39-ish, which is quite a bit of a difference, considering that he is going to be on one base as well.
So Banshees are going to be going out. Cloaking's just about to finish up. We're going to be seeing more sniping on the worker line.
Ooh.
And Cloaking is up. They are probably going to start cloaking once they get there. In the meantime, Hellions are going to be attacked by a Stalker. Stalker's probably going to move into the main base. And Hellions are going to attack the natural.
Yeah, and while this is happening, Mothership Core is going to be putting itself up in danger once again, which I don't necessarily agree with. If that thing gets sniped once more, he'll be in a really bad position, because 2 is bad enough, but a third one, especially with the Walrus, going to be clearing out the probes in the natural expansion and heading up towards the main base with his Banshees and his Hellions, and that's going to get rid of a lot of the probes there, actually. So many probes have been killed this game. 40 probes have been killed by the 11:30 mark. That's crazy. That is just crazy. Don't you agree, Sen?
Oh yeah, that is ridiculous. So much damage is going out here. We're going to see Psycore is going down, and going to prevent Stalker production, and then these Banshees are just going to be let loose and do whatever they want, with no anti-air to stop them.
Yeah, there's going to be an observer overhead, but really, like you said, there's no anti-air to stop them, so it doesn't matter if you can see them. Another Banshee is going to be joining the fray, and those are going to be able to take out those Stalkers fairly easily. Oh, one more Banshee in danger of falling down, but this Banshee will be able to clear away the Stalker, I think, at least. Yeah, it'll definitely be able to clear away the Stalker. Or go into the main base and get a little bit of damage done. Finally, Overcharge is going to be coming up into that actual expansion, because this Mothership Core is actually alive at this point. Which is definitely good for him, but yeah, taking a lot of damage here, up to 44 workers killed. Oh, jeez, that's just not very fun at all. So,
No.
Sin, what's
Yes.
one thing you think for either player probably that would help that we can learn from this game?
Well, from what I saw from our Protoss player, first of all, he probably shouldn't have been chilling around the base. He probably could have gotten a little more done, like I said. He also probably could have tried watching out for some of the Hellion attacks, maybe done a slight wall off at his natural, because throughout the entire game we were seeing Hellions just able to run through the natural, run up to the main. If he had any sort of wall off there, Hellions would not have been able to do nearly as much damage, because he would have been able to not only take them out with the Stalkers, but he also would have. Hellions are not going to be able to really do much to the structures.
And something that also I think that would have contributed to the fact that the Protest player lost was that his mothership core was sniped twice, which means that not only did he have to rebuild them, which is 150 gas, I believe, is its price, but that means that photon overcharge is stopped, time warp is stopped. The mothership core can't really do a whole lot on its own, and he was only really by the end of the game able to take off one photon overcharge, which really didn't help too much when you think about it, considering that the Hellions were still able to run by. And I think that's a good point that you made earlier, Sen. A wall-off would help out the Protoss a little bit more. As of from the Walrus, obviously this is a little bit of an all-in. Personally, I would have liked to see, with that last push, a natural expansion come down, in case that the push wasn't as successful as he wanted to. At that point, though, it was pretty much game anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at 44 Harvester scale, that's pretty ridiculous.
The game should be over by that point, and the surrender should go out if one hasn't already gone out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's, I think, going to be the last comments. Listen, has something else you would like to point out or say?
No, not really.
So, folks, real quick before we go here, a little bit of shorter game for my last one. A little bit of a new breath of fresh air there. A little bit of an announcement for you guys, as I've been saying for the past videos, and as I will continue to say for my future videos. I do have an upcoming tournament on the 28th of June. That is going to be on the weekend of the 28th of June, depending upon how many people we have in a bracket. I'm hoping to make at least an 8-man bracket, and hopefully could get up to a 16-man bracket. That would be my goal. So if you'd like to sign up, I'm going to put in the description below my email. Please send an email saying I want to play with the league, the account name of what you want to be playing as, or the account name of what you're using for the tournament, and your race. And that's the 3 things that you need to do for that. So, Sin, do you have any last closing remarks?
Nope, not really. It's overall a good game.
Alright, yeah, fun game, good game to cast. So, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on the next cast.